Matterport seems to be the buzzword in some of the high end property 3D virtual viewing kind of stuff going on at the moment. It hasn't taken off hugely in the UK. I've been trying to search for it. There was an article of it about it in a newspaper during Christmas and New Year, and it got me interested. And I'm doing a little bit more research into it, and it's looking like it's getting more user friendly. In the past, there were a lot of for real estate. Property companies started doing 360 photos, and that died really quickly. I don't know what this reason was. There just wasn't the demand for it. I think the user interface or the user experience was just crap, and it didn't really help the property look good at any point compared to conventional photos. Because again, with the 360 photos, you can't use flash, you can't set up things, you can't remove, maybe you can move reflections afterwards, but just so much more editing. It ended up just not really taking on. But that was a good 10 years ago. And now it seems to have come back with this more advanced software, which is giving some cool stuff. Again, the only thing that... So I have kind of thought it's not really quite worth it. And I think at the moment, if your viewers, if your clientele that you're having are viewing most of your stock via mobile apps, via their mobile phone, via an iPad, and all that kind of stuff, it's not brilliantly user friendly. It's good on my big computer screen. I've just been testing it out. On this big computer, it's working good and it's been quite fun, and it does make me quite a nosy person. But especially when it's done on real people's houses. But there are still some problems with it. So, for example, Strutton Parker, they're a massive company, and they have got very expensive properties on their books. This one I saw, which was quite cool. It's, did it say £4.5 million for a flat? And I was like, they better have more than a couple of grainy photos here. They do. They have virtual viewing. The problem was, okay, we've got the floor plan, nice. That's it. We're £4.5 million. Ridiculous. Street view map, that will come up, but virtual viewing then didn't. I was like, what's going on here? Tried. They've got a video about virtual viewing, and they talk about how great it is and all that kind of stuff. But again, let's try another one. Kings Road, Windsor. So featured properties. Sorry, property not available. Okay, that one's not available. Louders Square, not available. Okay. This one says it's sold. Maybe we've got this one. White House, cool. White House. Gallery, nice. Virtual viewing doesn't come up, so I think it may be the browser that I'm viewing on. So again, it doesn't seem to be completely compatible with that. So if I go over to a different browser, virtual viewing. Okay, oops, model not available. It's slightly different. So that's Safari we're in. Let's try another one. Okay, here we go. So let's bring this full screen. So this is where I think it works. I'm watching this on a 27-inch iMac. Oh, and it hasn't worked again. It was almost working. Oh, and there it goes. Okay, so it's still a bit glitchy. I'll definitely admit to on that. But when it gets going, it seems to be pretty good going. And we can do a little bit of zoom in. So I'm trying to zoom out. It's a little bit slow. I think it uses a lot of bandwidth. Maybe that's why on the mobile phones it's not the easiest to use. But I do like how they've got these little white circles on the floor showing you where to zoom into to go to the next area. And it's like I'm using this on a big Mac. This should be running a little bit more smoothly. But what I do like is the way that it works. So if it's a click and hold, and I can drag around the room. That works quite well. I was looking at a different company. There's one in Edinburgh. Let's see what we've got here. Which its one's just Bremore. Bremore, they're doing it the old school. They're doing it the old school way. I don't know how they're doing it, and the idea is still the same. They've done it on a fairly low quality property here, but if I click in to the room, it's just a kind of a pan and fade with this. It's also not a click and drag, it's a click and spin, which tiny user interface differences, but I think the click and drag on a computer is better than the click and spin. So the click and spin means if I click here and I take my mouse to the left, the camera rotates to the left, but the room rotates to the right. Click back out into the hall. It's just a kind of a pan and fade. Meanwhile, the better ones, like these virtual viewing ones, which I'll try and find again, they've got a... Hold on, I'll try and find the one that was on before. The heck's gone. They've got more of a kind of a... Maybe they've just taken more locations, but it's a movement. It's a 3-dimensional movement that they've done. So you're not just suddenly warped into a new room. You're warped to a different place, and it works quite well. So that's good. I like that, and I like the click and drag rather than the click and spin. It looks like it's a lot of effort and a lot of image is having to be captured. But yeah, coming back out of there. So yeah, again, this one I think is working quite well. The one which I was saying that wasn't working so great. Let's see some more. So this is a company, Bremore. They are doing, let's see, slightly cheaper, but this property here is like, are they benefiting from this? When you can see there's a person still actually standing in the room. This one also has that weird thing where it will just automatically just start moving if you don't touch anything. I'm like, why are you doing that? I don't want you to randomly start moving, and trying to control it is a little bit annoying. Let's see if we so it's just a warp into a new room. Person's done it well. The room's looking good here, and they've hidden themselves quite well in the shot. But this is now becoming so fiddly. It's such a small room. It's not really necessary. And are we gaining anything that we couldn't just get from some nice photos? That's another thing. If I zoom into the living room, we're right into the middle of the room. It works on big open plan rooms, not so much the smaller rooms going on here. But yeah, clearly closed the room, but tidied it all up. Okay, so that was that one. Let's see if we can find... Yeah, so I found some other ones. Toilet seat up, strut and Parker. When you've got this fully open, you can go to view floor plan. That's fine. What's more cool is view dollhouse. Very cool. I really hope that the Matterport, Matterport's a mountain. Matterport photographers or users. I wonder how much effort this requires, or is it much more an automated sort of thing? Because if you're having to create the floor plan, merge all these together, it could be a massive pain in the bum. Like this looks like, oh, hold on, that's me just seeing one room. Let's see all floors. Very cool. Again, cool on my computer screen, but on an iPad, quite challenging. Quite difficult, or the smaller the screen you're on, the more difficult it is. But this person has gone absolutely everywhere. 4 corners of the sofa just to get... That is highly... Maybe there's some sort of requirement of how far they're allowed to go with each movement of the thing. One thing I'm noticing with this is it is a little bit more time consuming. It is a little bit more user has to be a bit more involved like this. It's not such a passive experience. So this is really, once you've got somebody that's interested in a property, will they actually be looking at this. But this, hold on, this, how many floors has it got? It's got 4 floors. Hold on, here's an idea. Can we find out how long it took to shoot this. Ooh, massage room. Oh, gotta have a massage room in your house. Okay, let's see if we can find a clock in this place. If we can find a clock, maybe they started at the bottom and moved to the top. We could maybe find out. Bit of a maze when you're going around here. I've no idea. Okay, I'm a little bit lost. Let's see. Basement. Oh, games room down here as well. Look at that. Okay, games room. There'll be a clock here somewhere. And the TV. No. Darts. My goodness, this person really went just a couple of steps with each shot. Okay, no clock here. Where would kitchen? Okay, if we can see the kitchen. Whee! It's kind of touch. How do I zoom out? Zoom out. There it goes. Kitchen. Okay, if we go in here. Whoa! I was close to it the first time. Clock. Brilliant. Okay, we found one. They started shooting at 20 past 11. Okay, well, I say start shooting, but that is one of the times there. I think this is really a two-person job because they need another person to go around just in front of them to make sure they put the toilet seats down. Come on, people. Let's go back to Dollhouse. That is very cool, and again, it's a cool transition that they've got. But where can we see another clock? Bedrooms, bathrooms, TVs. Where? See, look, like it's very cool. It is very cool. Just a wee bit wiggly. Living room. So there's no clocks downstairs that I can see. Fire extinguisher you can see downstairs. Downstairs bedrooms down there. Massage room, pool room. Got a separate pool room. I've got to be careful with what you do with your mouse on this. Yeah, so the other kind of complaint that I thought I had about this in the past was that it was technology for technology's sake. Is the actual viewer gaining anything from this thing? And I think for the casual viewer, no. And the iPad viewer, probably not. But for the person who is granted investing millions of pounds into a property, then I can see its benefit. Let's see. Okay, can't see any clock. Let's see if we can get another property. Here's another property here. This one looks really nice. We could possibly tell by the daylight. So this is where it gets a really, like, I can start really checking out people's family photos. But yeah, granted you could do that with normal photos, but okay, here's a clock. Here's a clock. Found one. What's this one saying over here? Dehumidifier, clearly damp problem. Wine, clearly drink a lot. Just can't even put their wine back in the place. 12 o'clock. 12. Maybe that's another thing. Maybe they have to shoot at around about 12 o'clock when the sun is not streaming in through the windows because, again, it's the exposure may be difficult for them to do. Okay, where have we gone? Where have we gone? Let's go. Dollhouse. So, said the ground floor. What was that? 12 o'clock. Can we see any clocks upstairs? Kids' bedroom, kitchen. Kitchen. We'll have a clock. Off we go here. Can we zoom out a little bit? Oh, can we even? What's their notes on the kitchen, on the cooker hood? Yeah, I can't read that. They don't even have like a normal cooker that could have like a timer on it. Why do these people not have a clock? Oh, right. Stereo? Has that got the time? Nope. Ooh, looking at the window. Weather has changed. Looking nice and sunny out there now. It does become fun. I am enjoying, but it has to be a property where it's like not an actual house. Like you can, like here, yeah, here you're getting really nosy. Like I can kind of start checking out. Well, which school did they go to? Oh, I can recognize those crests of that school or something going on there. And then up here, oh, family photos. Which again, if it was just photos of a property, you would just not shoot this angle. Hello, hello. Got ya. Yeah. Anyway, there's another one in Edinburgh. So Edinburgh, we've got this amazing building called the Donaldson School, or it was a school in the past, school for the deaf, and it's now been turned into properties. And the Calla Homes, they've pulled their finger out. They've got models in, they've got CGI in, all looking good. They've got some Matterport videos as well. Let's have a little check of this. Again, doesn't play on this browser. Okay, yeah, no, none of them are playing on this browser. Let's try another browser. Okay, let's go full screen on this one as well. So these properties, again, so this is where I think it works out pretty well. The drag, the click and drag, and a properly dressed property, somewhere where we're not looking at family photos. Whatever they're doing here, whether it's HDR, 360 and HDR, or serious editing going on out there, this is a very easily exposed, as in it's a lovely day. You've got a white room to get as much brightness in as possible, and there's so many dots all over the place. They really have clicked everywhere. Oh, look at that! Look at that view. That is your view. I've shot a view of the houses inside there. Some of the ground floor flats. They haven't done very many on the upper floors yet. As you can see, there's still a man out. Look at him. Oh, what's going on here? Clicking the window, cleaning the windows out there. And there's also underground parking all underneath this, which you can't see from there. But, whee! Nice. Let's go. Can we see? I think this one's going for a couple million as well. How do I go upstairs? Click. Again, works good on a big Mac like this, but I think on iPad, a bit more of a faff than is necessary. But yeah, imagine that is your view. That is your working view. Oh, that's worth the money. Pentland Hills. Nice. Nice. Like it a lot. So, yeah, I'm wondering, one, how much effort is it to actually make one of these? Two, the Matterport actual expensive thing costs thousands of pounds. Compared to, because I think they're now saying, oh, we can do it with a little point and shoot camera kind of thing. Or a 360 Insta camera. You're like, probably not. I think that's the idea. It's like, hey, look at these amazing properties and these amazing photos. You can do that with your little point and shoot. No, you can't. No, you can't. Not at all. So it'd be interesting to see how much of an effort this is. But at the moment, I still think it's a wee bit glitchy. There are browser issues. There are compatibility issues. And certainly on smaller screens, it's a bit more of a faff, certainly kind of handheld devices. Oh, can we go out there? And I think in terms of privacy for certain people in... they hit it pretty well. For family homes and stuff like that, I think it's not the best. If granted, privacy, you're selling the house, doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think I'm getting more tempted by Matterport. I think it's definitely cooler. The only other thing is, from what I've heard, is that the photographer or the agent don't own the copyright to this, or they don't own the access to it because it's all held on a Matterport server kind of thing. That's how they keep their cash rolling in by making sure. Almost looks like it's got a flash on it. Surely it doesn't have a flash. I think that's just a weird infinity reflection going on there. Oh, it's all going a bit funny there. But yeah, it is cool. I suspect it takes a long time to do it. 4 floors. 4 floors. That must have been a week's worth of work. That's all I can imagine. They left something on the floor here. Oh, they've blurred something out. Maybe not. But yeah, well presented houses. So something for the very high end. But let's just zoom out. There's definitely something funny going on there. The wee thing. Something on the floor. There. Yeah, it just becomes a. If you're a nosy bugger, you're going to be getting well nosy with it. It is cool, but is it technology for technology's sake? Is it actually benefiting the sale of a house? That's the question. I suppose we can't really find out until there's more of these being used and there's more kind of feedback from it. I think in America it's more widespread. I wonder if there's any stats on it over there, but certainly over here, don't know. There's also quite a lot of, again, in the newspaper article that I read, it was talking about how, hey, we sold a £3 million house and the person never even saw it. They just saw, they never came to visit it. They just saw our Matterport presentation and bought it there and then. That's great. However, under some sort of rights of commercial purchasing, online commercial purchasing rights, that person could go, here's my £5 million, move in, and then go, no, don't like it, give me all my money back, and just screw everyone over there, because buying something online, you have the right to refuse after you've even received it, kind of thing. So yeah, I don't think that's really allowed to happen. It's an idea of like, hey, I saw your presentation, I now want to view it. You've got to actually see it in real life, and not just online presentation of it. But yeah, I think there's still something that needs to be done. It needs to be a bit more compatible with. It can't be the browser, because this is on that first browser which wasn't showing it. So it's just different websites just have an issue with it. So it's still a bit niggly. Still some issues going on there. May not be with actual Matterport, and maybe with the actual companies. It's not quite integrated properly enough, certainly in the UK, it seems. Let me know what you think. Cheers. Bye-bye.